We all heard the question, where are the aliens? For decades, scientists, astronomers, and sci-fi writers have obsessed over it. The numbers don't lie. Hundreds of billions of galaxies, trillions of stars, and even more planets. Statistically, intelligent life should be everywhere. But what if we've been asking the wrong question? Because maybe the mystery isn't why we haven't found aliens, maybe it's why they're all gone. Think about it. Civilizations could have risen on distant worlds, built their own empires, and looked out to the night sky. But what if every single one of them is already extinct? Wiped out by a cosmic disaster, burned away by their own sun, or destroyed by the same self-destructive instincts we humans wrestle with every day. And that leaves us with a chilling possibility. Earth may not just be alone in the universe, it may be the last intelligent civilization still standing. If that's true, then what we do next matters more than we realize. Because humanity wouldn't just be fighting for survival, we would be carrying the final torch of intelligence in the entire cosmos. Today we're exploring one of the darkest twists of the Fermi Paradox, the idea that we may be the last intelligent species alive. And if we are, then the fate of the universe's story rests entirely on us. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi sat down to lunch with his colleagues, looked up from his plate, and asked the question that still haunts humans today. Where is everybody? On paper, the math makes the universe look crowded. The Milky Way alone has around 400 billion stars. Astronomers now believe that most of these stars have planets. Statistically, there should be billions of Earth-like worlds out there. And if life isn't some cosmic accident, at least a fraction of those worlds should have evolved into intelligent beings. So where are they? No signals, no starships, not even the cosmic equivalent of alien trash left lying around. Just silence. This contradiction between the probability of life and the lack of evidence is what we now call the Fermi Paradox. And for decades we've tried to explain it away. Maybe alien civilizations are too far for us to detect. Maybe they are hiding on purpose, avoiding contact with dangerous species like us. Or maybe in the vastness of time we simply missed them. Their civilizations rose and fell millions of years before ours even began. But what if it isn't that complicated? What if we are not finding aliens because they don't exist anymore? Not in our galaxy, not in any galaxy. It's a terrifying possibility that intelligent life does emerge again and again across the cosmos, but never lasts. Civilizations rise, burn bright for a brief moment, and then collapse, leaving nothing behind but silence. And if that's true, the next logical question is unavoidable. Why didn't they make it? That's where the idea of the Great Filter comes in. The Great Filter is one of the most unsettling ideas in all of science. It suggests that somewhere between simple microbes and star-faring civilizations, there is a nearly impossible barrier. A filter that almost no intelligent life species can pass through. Think of it like this. Life might emerge all the time. Maybe even intelligent life. But when it comes to advancing beyond a certain point, something always goes wrong. Civilizations stall out, collapse, or vanish. So what could this filter be? Maybe it's cosmic. A sudden gamma ray burst sterilizes a planet in seconds. A nearby supernova wipes out life before it has a chance to evolve. These are disasters on a scale we can barely imagine. Or maybe the real danger comes from within. Nuclear weapons, runaway climate change, artificial intelligence turning on its creators. Pick your poison. The result is the same. A civilization that destroys itself before it ever reaches the stars. And here is the uncomfortable part. Humanity already had few close calls. During the Cold War, we came within minutes of launching a global nuclear war. Not once, but multiple times. We've seen climate systems edge towards collapse. We are even racing ahead with technologies like AI that we barely understand. If the Great Filter lies in our future, it means every advanced species has faced the same challenges we are facing now. And every one of them failed. Maybe that's why the universe is so quiet. Civilizations are like teenagers, full of potentials, but most don't survive their own bad decisions. But here is the big question. Even if other civilizations destroy themselves, shouldn't we still see some traces of them? Ruins, signals, remnants of their technology drifting through space? And yet, we don't. The universe remains silent. If civilizations were out there and if most of them eventually collapsed, you would expect to see something. Abandoned starships drifting between galaxies, dead cities on alien worlds. At the very least, a few stray signals echoing through space. But instead, the cosmos has given us nothing but silence. Take the Drake equation, for example. It's a formula designed to estimate how many intelligent civilizations might exist in the Milky Way. Plug in the numbers optimistically and you get hundreds, maybe thousands of advanced societies. But when we compare that to reality, the results are depressing. Because so far the only data point we have is us. Astronomers have listened for decades. The SETI program has scanned the skies for artificial signals using some of the most sensitive radio telescopes ever built. And the loudest thing we found? A strange blip in 1977 called the wow signal. For 72 seconds, it looked like the universe was finally speaking to us. But then, silence. Never repeated, never explained. And when we look for evidence of alien engineering, Dyson spheres, megastructures, anything, we come up empty. Even the famous Tabby star, once thought to be dimming because of a possible alien megastructure, turned out to be nothing more exotic than dust. Disappointing, but it fits the pattern. The more we look, the quieter the universe seems. This leads some scientists to argue for the rare Earth hypothesis, that maybe intelligent life isn't just uncommon, maybe it's almost impossibly rare. Conditions on Earth could be once in a trillion kind of an accident. If that's the case, then the silence isn't strange at all. It's exactly what we should expect. But silence can be terrifying, because if we really are the only intelligent civilization left, then the weight of survival falls entirely on us. So let's imagine for a moment that the silence isn't a mystery at all. What if the civilizations we're searching for aren't hiding? They are gone. What if Earth is really the last stronghold of intelligence in the universe? That idea changes everything, because suddenly humanity isn't just another species trying to survive. We become the final guardians of thought, memory, and meaning. If we fail, then intelligence itself, the ability of the universe to understand itself, could vanish forever. Think about it. Every story ever told, every song ever written, every discovery ever made, could all disappear in an instant. The universe would go back to silence, not because it's empty, but because its last thinking species couldn't survive its own mistakes. And the uncomfortable truth is, we are walking on the edge of the same cliff. Nuclear weapons, climate change, artificial intelligence, even the possibility of cosmic disasters. Humanity faces the same threats that might have ended every other civilization before us. The difference is, we might be the first to have the knowledge and maybe the time to avoid them. That's why colonizing Mars, building space habitats, and spreading beyond Earth isn't just about adventure or curiosity. It could be the only way to make sure intelligence survives at all. Because if Earth falls and we put all our eggs in one fragile basket, then the universe loses its last chance to think. And that leads us to a haunting question. If we really are the last, can we be trusted not to join the civilizations that came before us? The Fermi Paradox reminds us that the universe should be full of civilizations. Yet, it's silent. The Great Filter warns us that most species don't survive long enough to spread to the stars. And maybe that's what the silence really means. Not that no one was ever there, but that they all destroyed themselves. And if that's true, then humanity may be carrying the last torch of intelligence in the entire cosmos. But look at the path we are taking. Pointless wars that consume lives for nothing. Greed that pushes us to exploit the very planet keeping us alive. Hatred that divides us, and genocides that stain our history. These are the same patterns that may have ended every civilization before us. If we can't rise above them, then we'll just be another chapter in a long story of self-destruction. But if we can change, if we can learn from our mistakes, then maybe we are different. Maybe we are the one civilization that survives, colonizing Mars, protecting Earth, and uniting instead of tearing ourselves apart might be the only way to make sure intelligence itself doesn't vanish forever. So maybe the real question isn't where is everybody? Maybe it is, will we be wise enough to survive? If this changed the way you think about humanity's place in the universe, consider supporting the channel with a sub. And if you're on a mobile, you can even tap the hype button to help keep these stories alive. Thank you for watching, keep looking up.